One other question about Travis Timmerman. Was the U.S. aware that he was missing and being detained in Syria before this week?
I am not aware of any indication that we had that this gentleman was in Syria. I want to remind that we are just getting word of this, and we're trying to confirm his identity at this point. So the State Department is working hard on that right now. I am not aware that we had any prior indication that he was in Syria. It's also a good reminder for everybody, if you're traveling overseas, to enroll in the State Department's STEP program so that they have an idea of who you are and where you are. It's voluntary, of course, but we recommend that to everybody.
Thank you. So regarding Travis Timmerman, have there been any other Americans or people who have been saying that they're American uncovered in detention following what the events in Syria? And then regarding Americans, do you have any updates on Austin Tice?
On your first question, not that I'm aware of. On your second question, we don't have any additional context or information about Austin since the events of the weekend in Syria. But we are working very, very hard. And as we've said in the past, we hope that developments in Syria could lead to some opportunities and some more information. But right now, we don't have anything.
Are you concerned that there isn't more information around Tice? There isn't more of an update, considering the fact that we're seeing these prisons sort of people released? Would you have expected to have more news about Austin Tice at this point?
We're concerned about Mr. Tice. We're concerned about finding out more about him, where he is, his condition. We certainly, as the president said on Sunday, want to do everything we can to get him back with his family where he belongs. Would we like to have had more information in the last 48, 72 hours? You betcha. And we're working hard. We're in touch with interlocutors and counterparts in and outside Syria to try to get as much information as we can. But I don't have anything additional to report to you today.
Thank you, Karine. I want to go back to Austin Tice. Can you give us some information about the U.S. presence on the ground? Who's there to secure his release? Because it seems to be like it's a battle between journalists. We're trying to reach to any American prisoners there. And this is what happened this morning.
Let's not get ahead of where we are right now. Two things. One, U.S. military presence in Syria is predominantly in the east, and it's designed solely to help us with the counter-ISIS missions. And we're working with the Syrian Democratic Forces to that end. That's why they're there, and that's the only reason that they're there. We don't have enough information right now about Mr. Tice and his whereabouts and his condition to develop any kind of policy options in terms of getting him home. So let's just not get ahead of where we are right now. We're really trying, and we hope that developments in Syria will give us the opportunity to glean more information.
Sorry, I just want to follow on this. So you're saying that there's no FBI agent, there is nobody from the hostage departments that the U.S. was dealing, who's on the ground now in Syria? Because I'm aware of the Hostage Aid, it's an organization that's trying to find all hostages all over, American hostages. They are on the ground, and there are journalists, including my station, who are actually the first station to reach Mr. Trevor this morning.
The work that we're doing, the presence that we have in Syria is largely around counterterrorism missions. Again, I don't have policy options to speak to right now about finding and retrieving Mr. Tice. We just don't have enough information at this point.
And then just one more on Syria, or rather on Austin Tice. There have been scattered reports that he could be in Iran. Can you say anything to that?
I can't. As I said, and it's an honest answer, we just don't have enough context right now to make a judgment about his whereabouts or his condition. And that's why we're working so hard. And we are, as we speak, you and me today, we are asking those questions. And we hope that what happened in Syria over the weekend may give us an opportunity to learn more.
Are you directly in touch with the Iranians about this?
We have been in touch. I'll just say this. As you would expect, or at least I hope you would expect us to be, we have been in touch with interlocutors and groups and leaders all over the region. And we have various ways of being in touch. Some's indirect, some's indirect. But I think it's safe for you to assume that given the events over the weekend, it's a full court press to see what we can do to find out more about Austin Tice. And that includes having a whole heck of a lot of conversations with a lot of different folks.
Final question.
What do you make of reports that were out today that Austin Tice was seen alive at a prison in Damascus in 2022?
I think I've answered this before. I just don't have, I've seen that press reporting. I don't have any information to verify that reporting, and I certainly don't have anything today that gives us a sense of his whereabouts right now.
I'm asking though because the Israelis bombed that facility over the weekend, and so I'm wondering if there are any conversations with the Israelis about, maybe avoiding targets where Austin Tice or other prisoners might be held.
We're, as I said earlier, it's a full court press to get more information about Austin, and we are actively in touch with interlocutors and counterparts throughout the region, and that includes Israel.
So I believe it was last Friday when the family of Austin Tice said that they had spoken to officials here at the White House.
Yeah, they met with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan at the end of last week, yes.
And then they had a statement at the National Press Club where they said that they had been told from a reliable source, we assume Sullivan, that Austin was alive and that he was being treated well. So now we don't know any of that. So where did they get that information?
So look, I'm going to let the family speak for themselves. I can't even imagine what they're going through. I don't want to imagine what they're going through. I know this has been a difficult time for them. But what I can say is when it comes to Austin Tice, this is a top priority for this president. He said that himself. And there is no indication that he is not alive. But there's also no indication about his location or condition. And so what our goal is to bring him home. And so we hope certainly that he is alive. And as we have stated many times before, we are talking through this with the Turks, and we want to do everything that we can to bring him home. It is a top priority for this president and this administration, and that's how we're going to continue to move forward on this. All right, everybody.
Will there be further meetings between now and the end of this?
Well, as you know, this administration, including the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, has met with many family members of Americans who are wrongfully detained, held hostage. That is something, and also the president has done this as well. National Security Advisor, as I just mentioned, just met with Austin Tice's family just this past week, and so we're going to continue to certainly stay engaged and in touch. I don't have any meetings to preview for you at this time, but we've been pretty consistent in staying in touch with these families. Again, our hearts go out to them. Our hearts go out to them as they are dealing with an incredibly difficult time.